Hi everyone, I'm Human Element, and this channel is dedicated to my favorite aspect of Star Citizen, playing with others. In this episode, I'm going to take you through a step-by-step guide on how to set up your very own organization on the RSI website, the official home for every Star Citizen organization out there. If you already have a group, or are thinking about setting one up, I've already made another video that covers some of the most important considerations for running one, linked on screen and in the description below. Let's get started. Make your way to robertspaceindustries.com and look for the community section. If you hover over it, you'll be given the option to proceed to the organization's page. Once there, you want to look for the Create button. Click this and it will bring you to the org registrar to begin the process of creating your organization. To start with, choose a name. Then, you need to pick your Spectrum ID. This is typically an acronym for your organization's name, think UEE, for the United Empire of Earth. But you can make it anything you like. You can have 3 to 10 characters, using letters and numbers only. This will be your unique identifier in your org's URL, and that is commonly used as your org's tag in forums and VoIP servers. It's also something that can help your team members have greater choice when naming their ships, by adding your Spectrum ID as a ship prefix. While this might not necessarily be something the game designers intend for naming conventions in the future, it's an awesome way to help advertise your group by allowing your team to show their pride of association. As of Alpha 3.14, we're currently permitted 32 characters when naming our ships, so it might be worthwhile keeping your Spectrum ID as short as possible. One thing worth mentioning is it's permanent. You won't be able to change this later, so choose wisely. I'm going to call my organization Human Resources and use Humans as my Spectrum ID. After this, you'll need to choose your org's archetype, properties, and activities. The purpose of these is to help prospective members filter through the massive list of Star Citizen organizations to find the org that most closely matches what they might be looking for. So go through these and pick the options that most closely describe what you intend for your group. Once you've chosen your filter settings, you need to type out an introduction. This is the first portion of text that backers will see when visiting your RSI listing. It's commonly used as a place to advertise your org's VoIP server and any other key links that you wish to share publicly. I've got mine already typed out and formatted, so I'm just going to paste this in and click Create. And that brings us to our organization page. It's officially created, but at the moment it's just a blank canvas with some placeholder images. The only things that identify it as uniquely ours are our name, our Spectrum ID, and our introduction text. You can see there are some tabs further down the page which are common on all org pages for our history, manifesto, and charter. These currently don't do much to tell any prospective members what we're all about, so let's go into the admin portal and add some personal flair. First, we're presented with our org's overview. This is a summary page that tells us our number of members, how old our organization is, and how we rank compared to the other organizations in terms of activity, and some other interesting stats. Just a quick note, I'm not entirely sure what all the inputs are that determine your org's activity ranking. When running my previous organization, I tried playing the game every day with members, posting on Spectrum regularly, checking out the score after adding new members, and sometimes making changes to the RSI page, but I can't say with any certainty what, if anything, has the greatest impact on improving the score. I suspect it may be weighted against the number of members, meaning that if you have a smaller org with a greater percentage of your membership who are active, you might be outperforming a much larger organization with a smaller percentage of active members. If anyone has figured this out, who doesn't mind sharing the gold of course, please share your findings in the comments. All that said, your activity score doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things if your recruitment and marketing are on point and you've got people playing the game on a weekly basis. But back to the topic of this video. Let's get to work on personalizing our org page to better represent our team and goals. We'll do this by visiting the branding section. First up, you can see the introduction message we entered into the setup phase. If you made any mistakes, or you wish to format your welcome message differently, you can do that here. The Help button provides you with the formatting markdown that you can use to break up the monotony of unformatted text. Check it out and try a few things. It'll help make your page more legible. Up next, you have tabs for your history, manifesto, and charter. Use all of these to communicate who you are, what type of gameplay prospective members can expect, what your goals are, and try to give them a sense of the atmosphere they can look forward to once they visit your Discord or Guilded servers and start playing with you. The History tab is a great place to provide this general overview, and while I've never personally felt the need to have or use the Manifesto and Charter tabs, I've never left them blank. They're always visible even if you don't add anything to them, and the placeholder text that fills these spaces screams, "We're not prepared to have visitors." So do something about them and use those spaces to your advantage. You don't have to write a novel, but you've got to write something, so try to make it count. I'm just going to paste in the text that I've already prepared. Once filled in, you need to click Save Draft for each section you've updated, or the changes won't populate when you publish your page. Up next is the cover. This is an optional feature, to add an image that sits below the written portion of your page. You can add a nice screenshot here, a high-resolution version of your logo, or you can do something more interesting by taking advantage of its near unlimited image height permissions, meaning you can create a very tall image that uses a combination of text and imagery to add more of your brand identity to your page. I'd recommend looking at other organizations' RSI pages to get some inspiration on the sort of things you can do. And lastly in this section, you can link a YouTube video to add a bit more flavor to your page. Now that you've updated everything in this section, you can preview your changes, publish them, or revert any updates you've made. If you're happy with your changes, click Publish before moving on. Our next steps will take place in the Appearance section. Like the name suggests, this is where we can alter the visual styling of your page. You can change your theme to more closely match your brand's color scheme, change the main banner of your page, add a custom background, and upload your logo and icon. Most of these will be self-explanatory, but if you don't already know what an icon is, it's the little image that sits underneath your avatar in various places around RSI and Spectrum. Most logos don't scale well down to this size, so I'd recommend making something unique for this purpose to help other users recognize your group at a glance. Again, you can preview your changes, but I'm just going to go ahead and publish. And that takes care of the most important parts for establishing your brand and communicating what you're about. I'd recommend taking a quick look at the other sections to familiarize yourself with the true admin features available to you as an org leader. Your Members section is where you can manage ranks and roles. The Recruitment area is where you would allow or prevent players from applying to you directly from your RSI page. If you're just getting started, and providing you want to grow your membership, I'd recommend leaving your recruitment setting to open. The Applications tab is where you can accept or decline submitted applications. And the Invitations tab is what you would use to reach out to individual members directly. If, for example, you've seen someone in the Spectrum forums who you'd like to invite to your team. To do this, you'll need to have made note of their RSI handle. Lastly, your Settings page is where you can change the default titles for your ranks and roles, alter the settings you provided when you initially created your organization, change ownership of your group to an existing member, or even close down your organization altogether. That's all there is to the admin section. To see all your changes in action, just click Public View. And that's it for this episode. You now know everything you need to create your very own organization. If you found this helpful, or if you have any questions, please give me a shout in the comments below. If you like this video, please share it with a friend to help me grow my channel. I'm all about helping groups and individual players by discussing the benefits of playing together well. If conversations about cooperative gameplay are of interest to you, please like and subscribe to keep up to date with my upcoming content. You can also find me active on Twitter and Discord, where you can interact with me directly. Until next time, this is Human Element signing out. Looking forward to sharing with you and learning with you what it takes to succeed in the verse.